never knew when today could be wrong, until I found you, and to the store I never knew.
Sometimes a car isn't just the thing that gets you from one place to another. Sometimes a car is a place. When I'm in this old Porsche, when I touch the steering wheel, when I sit in this seat, I'm transported to a place where my father is still here with me.
It could be said that all classic Porsches have a story, but not many are as unique as this car. And that's why we feel so honored and so responsible in the preservation of the soul and story of this car.
This 993 twin turbo was my dad's dream car. My dad and I literally took a 1,000-mile road trip when I was 5 years old to go pick this car up during a pouring rainstorm, the worst storm they've had in Arizona in 10 years at the time. Once we got there, once we were able to get the car, and first time ever driving it, clear as day, just like today, it was absolutely beautiful. My dad, unfortunately, was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He told me in August, and 3 months later, he, passed away. Before he passed, he was able to give this car away to you guys, which I'm very happy that the car is, going to be taken care of and repaired. And hopefully to someone else who can really appreciate it and have the best memories with it, like I did.
Hearing Allison's story brought me back to memories that I made with my dad and the drives that we would go on.
We knew that we had to preserve this car because the things that her father touched and experienced in this vehicle, we wanted to keep with it. Everything that the original driver touched, knobs, steering wheel, shifter, e-brake handle, typically gets replaced completely on a restoration. And we didn't want to throw those things out at all.
It's really more about taking something that has always existed and basically just kind of bringing it back as close as we can, really honoring the really beautiful memories that have happened with this car.
The 993 Turbo is the end of an era. I mean, that was it. That was the last of the air-cooled, and there was nothing else like it.
I didn't know how special this car was until I was in kindergarten, and my dad would drop me off and pick me up, and I'd have 5th grade boys come up to me and say, "Wow, that's your dad's car." But at that time, I was so young, I didn't understand what made it so special.
Once we made the decision to save this car, then we realized how hard it was going to be to preserve all of that original equipment and everything that this car had. This car was an exclusive option car. It had more than 21 exclusive leather options that we had to now save. We couldn't replace. You can't buy these things.
When you don't care about what you're taking apart, you take it apart as fast as possible and you throw it in the dumpster. When you know you're gonna have to use that thing again, you care about what you're taking apart. Hundreds of parts had to be cataloged and gone through and then kept track of meticulously. Just the door card alone has a dozen individual components. If we lose one, we don't have a preservation or a restoration.
The car hadn't run in nearly 10 years. Once we inspected this car mechanically, we realized we had a lot of work to do. There wasn't anything mechanical that wasn't touched and ultimately preserved. Aesthetically, the car was very original. You could tell this car had not been buffed or waxed in decades. Luckily, the clear coat hadn't failed, so we determined that we could absolutely save this paint job. And what a cool paint job it is. This color is awesome. Speed yellow is just such an iconic color.
And now it's in perfect condition.
I think preserving this car helped save the soul of the car and preserve Allison's story with her father. She told us the story of her falling asleep in the passenger seat as they would drive down Mount Charleston. Had we replaced that seat, that memory wouldn't be there. If we had changed the steering wheel, it wouldn't have been the steering wheel that her dad held. Those details are why we felt the need to preserve and not replace.
I'm very proud of this build. I'm very proud of the team, and we could not have done this at all if we didn't come together.
This car is a dream come true.
I pray that whoever ends up with this car, please be safe and make lots of memories. The soul of this car will live on forever. That's the best part about it.